All right, nerds. So this is what I like to call the episodic content, aka TV and streaming. So stuff that, you can get over your bunny ears or get on cable or from Netflix and HBO Max and Disney Plus, etc., etc., etc. This comes from a much longer video called The Week in Nerddom that exists over on the main channel. You can go check that out. There's a bunch of other news there, but also don't forget to swim around here while you're on the Nerd News Clips channel and see all of the other content that isn't also on the main channel. But, since we're here, let's talk about TV streaming and such. Let's get into episodic shows, shall we? Episodic and movies is actually no, episodic is kind of huge. Movies, kind of tiny. So, episodic, let's talk about it. First up, we have some follow-ups. In the follow-up section, we're going to start at the top, and that is House of the Dragon, Casey Bloys, content CEO at HBO Max, which very soon is just going to be called Max, has confirmed that Season 2 will not air until 2024, very specifically the summer of 2024. Don't know any more specifics than that, but, don't get your hopes up for seeing Season 2 in 2023, because it ain't happening. They've got a lot of filming and a lot of after post work to do. So yeah, go just hold your horses. Next in the follow-up section, we have Dune Sisterhood, also going to HBO Max. It's getting a little bit of a shakeup though. We lost a director, we lost a lead actor. Let's talk about that. So Johan Renck, executive producer of Chernobyl, also the director of this series, has stepped down. He was directing 2 of the episodes, so it's not as big as the showrunner stepping down. But that does, put a wrench in things because they have to find a replacement, and so daily production cannot continue without him. And then also actress Shirley Henderson has also left the project. She was going to be Helen Mohaim, I believe. I didn't put in the notes because I take amazing notes, but yeah, so she was one of the leads, though I just can't remember which character she was supposed to be playing, and that is pretty significant. Also, all of the shakeups that are going on over at DC, or at Warner Brothers Discovery specifically, right now, just kind of, oof. They're going to have to bump this one back, aren't they? They haven't officially made that statement just yet, but they also haven't officially talked about the release date for the Sisterhood yet, so expect it to get pushed back. We just don't know by how much. So next up in the follow-ups and corrections, we have official confirmation. Previously, we talked about the Monsterverse and the new Legendary Monsterverse and how the Apple TV Plus series may or may not be tied into the new Legendary Monsterverse of Godzilla and King Kong, so on and so forth. Well, now we have official word that they are, in fact, going to be related. It is very specifically going to be the Adam Wingard film, the next film that is coming out, but that then also ties it to the other films that have come out previously, so I don't know about going forward from here, where things are going to happen. We don't know that yet, but when we do, we'll talk about it. That's what we got for follow-ups. Let's talk about trailers. We got our first trailer for Season 2 of Shadow and Bone. I have heard nothing but good things about Season 1. Haven't had the time myself to watch it because day jobs suck, but yeah, have not heard anything bad. Season 2 will premiere March 16th of this year over on Netflix. Go check out the trailer, again, linked in the description. In the description. And then we're talking about one of the Walking Dead spin-off shows, the kind of shakiest of the lot, and that is Walking Dead Dead City. We finally got a trailer that might indicate why Negan and Maggie have decided to team up. With the way the mainline series ended, Maggie has zero interest in doing anything with Negan, even though Negan had an incredible character arc, especially over the course of the last 3 seasons. Good Lord, it was amazing. If you haven't watched it, you really owe it to yourself to do that, especially if you plan on watching the spin-offs, because without the mainline series, you have no idea what's going on, right? So yeah, Walking Dead, Dead City is the name of it. Something to do with Herschel. It seems Herschel gets kidnapped and somehow Negan has relation to the man suspected of kidnapping Herschel. And if you notice, Herschel is a fair bit older in this trailer, indicating that yes, it is in fact a few years after the resolution of the mainline series, which also would explain why they're in New York and not down in Georgia still. So there is that. We got a lot from that. It was like a minute trailer, minute and 20 seconds or so. And then we got Ted Lasso Season 3, just dropped a trailer. It's March 15th on Apple TV+. I mean, if you don't know Ted Lasso at this point, you don't care. So why go into any further detail? Go check out the trailer. Let's move along. We got regular ass news. First up, we're starting on a bit of a downbeat, and that is Richard Belzer. If you don't know Richard Belzer, then you're probably not a fan of Law & Order, and I can't fault you for that, but the man was also a stand-up comedian, did a multitude of movies and other TV shows, and will be missed. If you haven't seen his stand-up, like I've seen some of his older stand-up, he was really funny. How did he end up on Law & Order? Again, Hollywood is now down one really fantastic character actor, so let's take a moment for Richard Belzer.
Well, thank you very much. Calm down, guys. They're all wade into the crowd and drink your beer for you. Relax. I know you're drunk and you're mindless and you're from the valley, but calm down, guys. Turn these lights up a little more. I want to go legal. Babe, don't push me because I'll beat up your date, okay? Thank you. Really. He'll be limping the rest of his life. It's going to be on your conscience. Yeah. Anyway, so why don't you go outside and practice falling down? I'll be out in a minute, all right, babe? Thank you. Can you get more bruises on your leg, or how's that work? Bruises on her leg. Camera, come here, come here. Do you have wheels on that? What is this, camera 2? Bring it up, bring it in as far as you can. Wheel it up. You can't? Can you show us those bruises, please? Yeah, okay. Who, did you cause those bruises, babe? They're your bruises? You're proud of that, putting bruises on a woman? Not a woman, a women. How did you... Good. Okay.
That brings us to our only other piece of regular ass news here in the TV or the episodic section. It's going to take so long for me to get used to saying that. And that is anime on YouTube. There is free anime for those who are looking for it. And, you know, you don't have to go find one of those channels that has like the actual video just down here and then the rest of it is something to throw the algorithm off. You know, they're trying to you know, it's nothing, you know, trying to get around the algorithm police or anything like that. This is legit. The person who owns the rights to these anime has put some of them, not all of them, but some of them up for free on YouTube. So what am I talking about? Viz Media. Viz Media owns the rights to, and you're gonna have to read this because it's quite a list. The first 8 seasons of Naruto, the complete collection for Sailor Moon, Hunter x Hunter seasons 1 through 3, 37 episodes, or all 37 episodes rather, of Death Note, as well as the complete Inuyasha series and seasons 1 and 2 of Mr. Osomatsu. So, yeah, of this list, I gotta say, of this list, I've heard good things about Hunter x Hunter. I think I've only seen like 1 episode or something. The guys over at Corridor Crew actually used it to train an AI so they could make their own anime, which is bizarre and awesome and beautiful all at once. So that's definitely worth a check out if you haven't. But on this list, as far as my personal experience, obviously Naruto has a gigantic following, but Inuyasha is kind of underappreciated as far as this list goes. I'm not a big fan of the subgenre, whatever subgenre that technically would be called, whatever Inuyasha falls into. I'm not usually into stuff like that, but man, Inuyasha was actually really, really good. Now you can watch it for free over on the Viz Media YouTube channel, so it's worth a watch for sure. All of them, it's free. Why not? Go give them a little bit of love, right? Yeah, but there is one caveat, and that is you have to be in the US in order for this to be a legit thing. They only have made it available to US users of YouTube, or, you know, what YouTube thinks are US users, i.e. you have a VPN. So that's worth noting. It might take a little bit of doing in order to watch it, but there is a legitimate way to watch it. So that's really awesome. That is all we have in regular ass news. That's everything we have for episodic content. So let's move into episodic suggestions. This one is Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1 is... Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1 is a thing that has happened, and you can go watch it if you have Disney Plus or you have a really close friend who has Disney Plus. Yeah, the thing that is keeping Star Wars relevant and good is into Season 3. So here's the thing. Most shows who have this thing that kind of blows up and gets a little out of control, i.e. Grogu, i.e. Steve Urkel, I'm looking at you. Generally, when the corporate types that are in charge of production see this, they decide to lean as hard into that thing as possible. And that's not exactly what's happening with Grogu. Yes, he is still relevant. Yes, I do believe this is probably longer than was anticipated, Grogu being part of this story, but it's not all about Grogu. It is still legitimately about Mando, and I think that's amazing. Favreau's doing wonderful work, and just go watch it, won't you? Once again, nerds, that was a short section that comes from a longer video on the main channel, Generally Nerdy, YouTube or Rumble. Take your pick. I'm on both. You can go find it there. You can go find all of the other news there as well, including the live episode. We do a live episode roughly once a week, every Friday evening. You can join the conversation live, or you can just leave comments here on this one or any of the other ones you find on the Clips channel. Thank you very much, nerds. We've got other news to discuss in other videos, but while we're getting out of here, don't forget that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.